back in the day when every neighborhood had a shopping center. In the back of that shopping center was the video store, and in the back of that video store was where they kept the stuff that stood the test of time. This is the Back Rack Video. I'm Spike.
I'm Chris.
This time out, we're doing date movies. Movies in love. To be exact, chick flicks that dudes like. So this is our public service here at the Who What Where Network. We know Valentine's Day is coming up, okay?
Yes. I
am perpetually married. He is the eternal bachelor. But we're going to do our best, both of our...
However, if there's any females watching, call me. Sorry, go ahead.
I imagine the kennels are emptying out as we speak. Anyway, so we are actually doing there's two related episodes coming out of Back Rack Video this week. This one is for chick flicks that dudes like. So basically, if you're a dude and you've got a chick that you would like to go just spend a quiet night with, get some popcorn,
I'm interested
some
in what
parent sodas and stuff, some adult sodas and stuff, and just sit down and enjoy an evening together. We've got 3 movies for you. We have another episode that goes along with this. This is dude flicks that chicks like. So if you're a chick who's got a dude you would like to take on a date night, that episode will be for you. But this is the chick flicks dudes like. So I've got 3 of them. I'm going to throw them out there. Let's see what you think. Christopher.
Yes.
Coming up first, Ghost. With Debbie Moore, Patrick Swayze, and Whoopi Goldberg. Now this really is the perpetual chick flick because it's all about love. But between Whoopi Goldberg being actually back when she was actually funny, and all the action and stuff that actually happens after that scene with the mud and stuff. So, Chris, what do you think? Have you ever seen Ghost?
Oh yeah, I've seen Ghost.
Tell me about Ghost. What do you think?
So, the movie stars Demi Moore, Whoopi Goldberg, Patrick Swayze, and Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore are like a couple, and there's a tragic incident to where, Patrick ends up getting killed, and
Spoilers.
His spirit, his spirit lingers around and finds out that there's a whole lot more to his death that is, We
won't go too in-depth into it.
Yeah, but it's, I think the reason why guys love this is because, one, it's funny. There's some funny parts in there with Whoopi and Patrick.
Whoopi did the Nope long before the movie did.
You got mystery, murder. So, that really intrigues us a whole lot with that.
And, of course, women enjoy the romantic parts of it, the mystery to it. Yeah. And, of course, Patrick Swayze
is easy on the eyes.
Patrick Swayze, back in the 80s, early 90s, was extremely easy on the eyes. And remember, he was the only guy in the 80s, the only Hollywood star who made people forget he was a Hollywood star when he did his required one song release.
Oh, I forgot.
Because remember, everybody in the 80s was releasing songs. Bruce Willis did Respect Yourself and so on and so on. Patrick Swayze did She's Like the Wind, and women lost their minds over this. And to be honest, when I was a kid and first heard it, I had no idea that was Patrick Swayze. I was like, what is this, Peter Cetera? What is it? He actually did a good job. So that's
I totally agree with Ghost.
Ghost. So Ghost is a good one.
It's actually on my mind, too. I was just like, Ghost is a good...
Now, if Ghost is not your cup of tea and you want something a little more colorful, let me present Disney's Beauty and the Beast as a date movie. Because, talk about... Now, there was something else we're going to do here on Back Rack Video at some point is called Hidden Depths. It's going to be a series of movies where... everybody knows something. Everybody knows this movie, but there are depths that a lot of people don't notice, at least not at first glance. It certainly didn't enter the popular mindset. Beauty and the Beast, everybody thinks of as a Disney movie. If you've seen it, you might think it's a romantic movie. It's actually a story of redemption on so many levels. Every major character in this movie has a redemption story to it. Some fail, some succeed. Chris, I know you've seen Beauty and the Beast. Yeah. You tell them about it.
It's your classic love story of like you got this nerdy girl that the whole village kind of makes fun of, but also envies because the most popular pompous ass in the village that everybody wants and wants to be wants this nobody of a girl. And she's totally not interested. Goes off on this big adventure, meets this castle full of magical characters, including the owner of the castle, who's secretly a prince, but has been cursed to be this vicious beast. And yeah, I know I keep doing it. You tell me what to
now. All of these movies are at least 30 years old, so all the spoilers are going to be fully included. If you haven't seen it by now, shame on you.
Honestly, let's just face it. When it comes to spoilers, even though I'm telling you that like the little bit here and there, it's the watching that makes it worth it. This movie is very, again, you got adventure, you got sassiness from all kinds of characters in this, you got the humor, and I think mostly when it comes to Disney films, well, not nowadays, but back when they were doing good stuff, you got what we call magic, that hits you right here, and everywhere else. Like you're just like, oh wow,
Well, the nice thing, guys are going to like this movie. It's a chick flick because of the romance, of course.
Of course.
And because it's a story about a woman trying to redeem a man. The Beast, as you said, is a prince who is under a curse. Who's under a curse. And because he's under a curse, his entire castle and everybody and everything in it is cursed. His entire staff become parts of the furniture and parts of the scenery and stuff. So the entire castle basically becomes a living being. And Belle, the lady in charge, is the one who is trying to redeem the Beast so that he can become a man again. She can lead him back to his manhood so that he can reclaim his castle and redeem everybody who has served him. Dudes like it because it's a kickin' rockin' cartoon. Plus, you've got Gaston, one of the most awesome, bad-butted a-holes in the history of Disney cinema. He is you've got the most evil villains of all time. You have the most vicious villains of all time. He is the most awesome Disney villain of all time just because he is such a braggart. He is so full of himself, and dudes just love laughing at him. Even when he gets his comeuppance, the dudes are like, yeah, give it to him. So it's just a grand old time. So,
yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we've got one more movie left. I promised you 3. Here's the third one. Can you take a guess, Chris? What would you think? We've done Ghost.
That's the thing.
We've done Ghost. We've done Beauty and the Beast. You're seeing a general time frame here. What would you think would be the third one? Throw some names out there. What do you think?
I mean, I got my own choices.
What would you say? What would your choices be? Just real quick.
I mean, I wasn't expecting the Disney one to be in there.
So
that threw me for a loop because there's a lot of Disney movies that you can actually call romantic movies that guys do like. So I would have to probably say maybe Aladdin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would have its appeals, yeah.
Or Little Mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
Or hell, you can even go with The Lion King.
Yeah. I was actually thinking of The Lion King for this, but I was actually thinking of Lion King for the dudes movies chicks like. But it didn't make the list. But
okay.
So yeah, when Disney was hitting its stride back there in the late '80s, early '90s, it was magic because it worked on so many different levels. It's something they've kind of lost here recently, but for kids,
Tarzan. No,
I'll let you swing on that vine, brother. The third movie I'm going to recommend, The Princess Bride.
Oh,
Now, this is probably the ultimate chick flick that dudes like for a very simple reason. Yeah, you blew it.
oh.
It even refers to the reaction of dudes to princesses in the movie, because in the movie you've got Fred Savage and you've got, of all people, Peter Falk as his grandfather. Fred Savage is a little kid, he's sick, and so that's when Peter Falk, playing the grandfather, comes over and reads him this book. And Fred Savage is like, Princess Bride? I don't want to hear about no princesses. Oh, but you'll like this one. It's got fighting, it's got murder, it's got all this stuff in it. Go ahead, Grandpa, if you have to. The story itself is, again, a hero's adventure. It starts by establishing the relationship between, these names, Buttercup and Wesley. And by this point, dudes are like, I know the first time I saw it, I was like, are you kidding? But then Wesley dies going out at sea, killed by the dread pirate Roberts. And you're like, huh? And the best part is, in the movie, Fred Savage is like, huh? And so Buttercup becomes a princess, and she's betrothed to the local slug prince. And then all of a sudden, the dread pirate Roberts shows up and flips the script. And you start meeting all these fascinating characters. And the evil Prince Humperdinck, I think was his name. The evil Prince Humperdinck is the one who's got all these fascinating characters. You got Andre the Giant, who's like 10 foot whatever. You've got Mandy Patinkin as Inigo Montoya. You have killed my father. Yes.
Prepare
to die. That's what that means. All these meme-tastic things that come out. Women absolutely adore it because, of course, it's a romance, but it's to sweep you off your feet. But this is no mere damsel in distress. Princess Buttercup can stand up for herself. In fact, she basically kicks the dread pirate Roberts off the top of a cliff. And then when she realizes what she's done, no spoilers on this one, she actually jumps after him so she won't lose him again. The screeching eels. Have fun storming the castle. I mean, just the idea of seeing Carol Kane telling Billy Crystal, "I'm not a witch, I'm your wife." There is just so much to love about this film. I'm telling the beloved on you. See if you get any more malted chocolate malted frosting. Anyway, so there's just so much to love about it. If you haven't seen it, if you have seen it but you haven't seen it with your beloved, you should go see it with your beloved. It's available on DVD, Blu-ray. It's on, I'm sure it's on one streaming service or another. Probably over on HBO Max, unfortunately. But buy the Blu-ray or the DVD. Do it right away. It needs to be in your library. You will absolutely love it. Chris, any final thoughts about The Princess Bride?
Listen, I'm going to be absolutely dead honest. I don't know how many people I have met, especially men, that said, that doesn't sound like my type of movie, just because of the title. And I tell them 1,000 times, no. Forget about the title. You need to watch this movie. And they still have it because it's called The Princess's Bride. Listen, forget about the title. This is one of those movies you need to watch before you die. Seriously.
This is one of the biggest cult movies of all time. This is a movie that should not work.
Wow.
This is a movie that should not work. It was originally written in the early 70s. It really was based on a book. The movie is based on a book, but the book itself was based on a book that didn't exist. Okay? It's directed by the guy who played Meathead on All in the Family. Okay? You've got a bunch of Jewish comedians swarming all over this thing. You have a guy with one of the worst accents playing your lead hero. And for some reason he's got this British accent, and your female lead usually doesn't. Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. You have all of these great supporting characters. You have all of this fantastic action plot beats. It is storytelling done perfectly. This, out of all the movies I've got in my library, this is the one movie I have seen more than any other. I've seen The Princess Bride more than I've seen any other movie, and that includes Casablanca, although that's a close second. So, which also nearly made one of these lists, but it did not.
It actually was on my mind as well.
But it did not. So, we're 16 minutes into this. We're going to wrap this one. Okay, so this was all the chick flicks that dudes like. Stick around, because in the next episode, the next episode of Back Rack Video, we're going to be talking about dude flicks that chicks like, which is, takes everything and just kind of like turns it on its head. You'll recognize these films and you won't even know.
Also, can I add some in the next one?
Yes, by all means, help yourself.
I got a few that works for both.
For both ways. So until next time, Spike,
Chris,
be kind.
rewind.
Rewind.